You've probably seen us all over the racing world and doing a lot of racing designs for events and race teams, but we also do a lot of stuff from small boutiques in small cities all the way up to Fortune 500 companies. Your brand deserves to be seen. We print on more than just shirts, hats, jackets, bags, and much, much more. Custom corporate branding starts here.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of everybody's favorite racing talk show and everything in between. This is indeed the Revved Up Sports Show, 10 years strong. Showtime Bobby Chef right here. The Iceman, Rodney Rodriguez, and Tim Richmond. That would be the man right there to the left of your screen. So, as you can see, studio under construction. His studio's under construction. Mine's overrun by animals.
Yeah. That's about it. And I tell you, it's weird in here because with everything that's kind of gone down and different stuff that's in here, a lot of the insulation is gone. So this room actually echoes, Bobby, like it first did about 10 years ago when we started this thing. So I've got a little echo going on, but yeah, studio renovation. The next time that we do #Real Race Talk, you're going to see something pretty sweet that I'm really excited about. So looking forward to that. Great program tonight, though, by the way. Really looking forward to talking about you guys there at Texana Raceway Park coming up with the big fireball race. We'll talk about that. And then Dustin Hennigan is scheduled to join us as well. You got something happening at Boot Hill as he's trying to win a whole lot of money again. We'll talk about that, talk some TMS and a whole lot more, man. How about your TMS trials and tribulations, man? Whether the forecast, all of my great friends in Dallas Fort Worth with weather, all those babes got it wrong, my man. They all got it wrong.
The fact we were racing on Friday was pure amazement to me.
Yeah.
I had no idea we'd be, without a shadow of a doubt, no idea we'd be racing on Friday.
Yeah. It, everything called for, and the plan for us, with work was Friday was going to kind of be one of those days where, we would do minimal stuff because we figured that everything was going to push to Saturday. And that was indeed not the case. Not an ounce of rain. But I got to tell you, though, watching
hardly rain at all,
yeah, because that's one of the things with work that we do is we've got those fancy forecast things like everybody else does, and man, it was headed to TMS a lot of different times, but man, that stuff would dissipate and just never made it, and that's good. I mean, that's a great thing.
No, it's definitely a great thing. There was a lot of surprised people, a lot of sunburnt people there on Saturday too, because the sun came out on Saturday. It felt good. Like in temperature wise, but in terms of like sun, I guess because of the overcast skies, a lot of people just turned out a little bit more sunburned there than what they had anticipated. So
yeah, it got to the point where it was so odd as how to dress for that, because the mornings were cool, and that's the thing for folks that haven't been to DFW. This is TMS or regardless. When you go to DFW, you have to prepare for a little bit of everything because the weather, I mean, that system over there is just so crazy. And there's no, here in Central Texas, it's, kind of hit or miss. But over there, man, when Mother Nature gets pissed off, she gets really pissed off, and she is going to hammer you. And that's usually what happens there. But for once on a TMS race weekend, and I think just big picture, looking at everything the way it worked out there at Texas Motor Speedway this weekend, the stars aligned, man, because everything worked out well, and they hit a big ass home run this weekend.
I mean, they did. Sunday was the Grand Slam, if you will. Sold out, meaning every available ticket.
No, it didn't.
Every available ticket they had available to be sold was sold, whether or not there was an ass in the seat or a tarp covering a seat. Every available ticket they had. Same thing with the dirt track. You didn't hear everybody complaining about the dirt track. I rolled up there on Saturday night, tried to get a reserve ticket to the race, and they said they were sold out.
I saw empty seats.
Yeah, there was empty seats at the dirt track there on Saturday night, but nobody complaining about that.
When I went to TMS in Turn 4, in TMS in 2005, I sat in the very last seat at the exit of Turn 4, and that seat was empty Sunday. Oh, it wasn't for sale. Give me a break.
Yeah.
Give me a break. It's like, like we talk about all the time. Why find the negative? Huh? How about just saying they did good? You ain't even got to say they did great. They did good. It's not a bad thing to wish happiness and success.
And the world's most popular driver, the NASCAR world's most popular driver, won the damn race. People still complaining.
Hey man, I was when that car broke loose right there at the end, I'm like, if that's probably not Tyler Reddick because that's rigged too. But if it's, any of the other 35 drivers, they would have thrown a yellow, but not for Chase Elliott. Not for Chase Elliott. Got to keep the race going. He's going to win. Nobody complaining about that one.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. It's a good weekend though. And you're right. I mean, the high limits race on Thursday. No, I mean, let's say what it is. Typical dirt race. Dude in the front took off and won. But the Saturday
Same thing Saturday.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, front two, anyways, took off.
Yeah. Saturday one was much more racy, I thought. And just a good program all in general. I like the combination of what they're doing right there.
No, it's a great idea in terms of coming through and having the high limits be I mean, really call it like it is a support class to the weekend when you had a lot of the guys coming over. So, I mean, it was, it's funny when they were interviewing them on Saturday night and they were talking about what all did you do between the Thursday and Saturday? All of them. We went down to Cattlemen's. We went down to the stockyards for a little bit. I'm thinking, well, hell, y'all went to the high rent district if y'all went down there.
And by the way, speaking of the stockyards and so forth, I don't know how many of you guys may be rodeo fans, but if you're in that DFW area coming up the next 2 weekends over there at the historic Cowtown Coliseum, a place that I went to last year, just great venue to go. The PBR World Finals happening this weekend, and then the next weekend they stay there in the Fort Worth area, and they'll be over at Dickey's.
Yep.
So if you're a rodeo person, man, that's a damn good combination right there. Racing and then a couple of weeks of rodeo, you got everything you want right there in your redneckism if you're that type.
Yeah, the old school Cowtown Coliseum is a great venue. It's kind of like the Freeman Coliseum. They're not a bad seat in the house.
Absolutely, man. It's that one, and then earlier in the year, I got to go to Odessa, the historic Odessa Coliseum there as well. And it's just you go into venues like that, and even the racetracks. I mean, we talk about it with racetracks all the time, but when you go to those venues, it's like, man, if those walls could talk, the conversations that have been heard in those walls, and the artists that have been there, and the shows that have happened in there, man, it's freaking incredible. And I love those older venues. Especially, you have to update them, as you do with plumbing and electrical and so forth. But man, when they leave the infrastructure as it has been, it only makes those places even better, man. When you go into a smelly Coliseum, dude, that's nostalgia all the way right there.
I'll tell you, man, for whatever money they spent on Rockingham, they didn't update the bathrooms, not a lick. You still got to piss in a 20-foot long trough there at Rockingham.
Oh. Is that right? Oh man,
they did not update, and they got wooden stalls in there about a foot deep,
nice,
from the door to the front of the can.
Nice.
Yeah, they didn't spend any money when they rebuilt that place. They didn't spend a lick of dime on the bathrooms.
That's that kind of brings back memories here for Central Texas. With Longhorn and San Antonio. Remember San Antonio was the all the time you were going to expect some plumbing problems, and it's like I love watching the old these people that go explore San Antonio Speedway, the remains of it, and they go over there walking through turns 1 and 2, and they're like, oh, it looks a little muddy out here. It hasn't rained, but it's awful muddy out here. I'm like, yeah, you're in a septic field, man. You're walking in 40 years of piss and shit.
That's right, right in that corner.
That just cracks me up every time, to where it's like a little sloppy out here. Yeah, man, that ain't mud. That is not mud that you have on your shoes. And Longhorn had them long piss troughs, and same thing where you may catch, by the end of a Friday or Saturday night, you may catch one of those wooden stalls that maybe would flush.
Maybe, yeah.
Oh man, it's but I love that San Antonio thing. That's pretty hilarious. Lots of folks checking in. Our man Sugar Sean Folsom, man, what a job. You got to spend some time with him. You guys, good job Sunday morning on the pre-race show there from TMS. getting us all fired up. Just amazing photos that Sean produced, and you can find all those. They're actually on the Revved Up page. Sean is going to continue to drop some of that content on us, lucky us, and you guys. If you have an opportunity to support that dude, if there's a way to purchase his photos, if you can. I know at Cotton Bowl he does where you can sponsor the night. I think it's about $100. I mean, do that, because that's a hard-working dude, and he talked about it a couple of weeks ago. He that dude ain't running around with a cell phone doing that shit. He's got some really high intense gear.
Some high-end cameras.
Yeah,
couple.
Absolutely.
He had 2 different cameras set up, one for filming the cup race stuff, and then one for filming the trucks at night, and then another setup to do the high limit stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
So multiple different kind of cameras and stuff like that. See, I got a fuzzy dog tonight.
Man rolls around with a lot of gear, so support him as you can. Also want to check out our man there, Russell Vickery, the pride of Maxwell,
the Maxwell Madman.
They lost Maxwell Barbecue. That place closed down.
Did it really? When did that happen?
Yeah, I think that happened a couple of weekends ago. It was one of those kind of they opened up in a historic building there, and they would sell till they sold out, and I guess they finally gave up the fight there. That's a tough place to open a barbecue spot, even though that the family there associated with that place was well entrenched in the Kreitz and all of that. But yeah, that's a bad loss, but not a loss for Russell Vickery. Second place in the modifieds at HMP the other night in the number 2 car. And that car, from everything that I saw, only saw photos of it, it looked just as it did the last time that it was on the racetrack with Heath Stewart. Good run by our man Russell Vickery.
Yeah, definitely an old school run there in the 2 car at HMP.
Yeah. Lance and Martha also checking in. I'm sure that they are fired up and ready to go for Texana Raceway Park coming up this weekend with the big Fireball event. Southern United Sprint Cars. I don't want to mention the W word. That's something that we can address here. Some of the forecasts are not looking good, but like I texted you earlier, we were just having the discussion about TMS. Everything looked pretty bad, and it worked out. Hopefully, lightning strikes twice, and everything holds out for Texana.
Hopefully, everything stays together and stays good. You just never know with that weather down there by the Gulf. So
yeah, you never know, man. Everything changes so fast. I mean, it's cooled off here. It is right now 63 degrees in the burbs of Round Rock, and we were approaching 90 yesterday, so there's a lot of stuff happening in the atmosphere, and it's May. The April showers are bringing May flowers, so hopefully that will push its way into Saturday for you guys.
Hopefully, I hope so. It's gonna be a good night. Got a lot of people traveling from a long way away to get there.
Absolutely. And speaking of that, let's go right to the sources right here. It is that big $1,000 to win Fireball race coming up at Texana Raceway Park in Flag City, USA. It's Edna, Texas. And joining us right here, I mean, look at this right here. I mean, we have what is racing in South Texas right here. I mean, obviously, you know Monty Chamberlain right there, the Wharton County Playboy. I mean, we've got that dude, a frequent visitor right here. But who is this guy on the right? I mean, that is the legendary. That's the legendary Mr. Tony right there. Boys, how we doing?
We're doing great, Tony.
Doing good.
Tony, do you need me to come to Edna Saturday and jump in one of those cars and win for you, like I've done the other 2 times?
There's one available.
Very, very nice. Very, very nice. Guys, Monty, let me go to you first. I know we have some stuff that we want to talk about, but with this, we're on some national platforms. Tell folks, because we talk about fireballs all the time here, with our local folks. Tell folks exactly what a fireball is. It's an old school race car, and it is something that is really transforming racing in South Central Texas. Kind of give it in a quick 101 what a fireball is.
Well, just to kind of set the stage for that, in my opinion, Ray Doyen and Michael Keelich kind of had the brainstorm for this a few years ago. And as I understand it or saw it from a distance, it brought cars out of the weeds. So I think there's a bunch of SAS cars that used to run, old asphalt cars and stuff. Guys converted over. They just didn't have a platform to race on, a whole bunch of Camaros. And you can't run Camaros in factory stock, things like that. So it was really their brainchild. They got it going. It probably took off a little slow, but now it's a phenomenal thing. It's like more motor than our old street stocks used to be, and we love those, the way those would thump. So it's a hair more motor than an old street stock. And just, it sounds good. It's got, of course, they run the headers. They sound good. They look cool. They're a little different. And it really was kind of, I'll call it, we're calling this fireball phenomenon. Well, the real truth is Ray and Michael set this whole thing in motion as a phenomenon just to get the class launched this day and time, and to bring something that brought cars out of the weeds. That's the best way I can paraphrase it. Is it appears to me, in studying this over the last several years, it's just a badass motor in some cars and it brought those cars out of the weeds.
So Tony, you have multiple cars. Actually, I just want to know from the start, how many cars do you own? How many cars do you have? Because every time I turn around, y'all got another trailer full of a couple of cars dragging them to the track. How many cars you got, dude?
I now have 6 cars, which one of them is a Fireball, and all the rest of them are hobby stocks.
Wow.
Same way with mine. We pulled one out of the weeds that I bought from Kenny Desmond, been sitting forever, which is a Camaro, and we put it together for Fireball. Because, of course, street stock was always my favorite race out there.
Those are the cars. I mean, that really is stock car racing to me. That's why I love that Nova, Tony, that you have. Tony Blankenship joining us here with Monty Chamberlain on the Revved Up Sports Show. Talk about the other part of this. So let's talk about your driving career. I mean, it's a lot of folks that may be newer to the sport may not know. I mean, that they see you behind the wheel at times, but kind of talk about your racing career. Like you said, I mean, this is something that you've done for a long time and just continue to be a part of it. Talk about the years behind the wheel.
Started in the early 80s. I quit in the early 90s, and then came back in 2010. Tried to get out of it a couple of times, but it just didn't work too well. Of course, I went and leased the track in 2017, wound up with 2 rent-a-cars back then. Then the rest is history. Now here we are again with 4 rent-a-cars and a Fireball.
Love it.
So the one thing I noticed, guys, is that when it came to it, Tony, you're the driving force behind wanting to get it to 1,000 to win, right? But to me, the sponsors that came on board to get the purse that is there for the Fireballs is amazing. I mean, it seemed like they were just coming out of the woodwork to give you money, and that doesn't happen a lot. Really, it doesn't happen a whole lot anymore. Talk about that, man. 25 plus people.
I mean, some people called me and offered, and I called a lot of people. Wasn't looking for a lot, just looking for a little bit, and a little bit's better than none. So everybody sponsored a little bit, and you can see as the purse has grown all the way to $100 for last place.
It's excellent, man. That's gonna bring a lot of cars, maybe some that even have been in the weeds that we may see. So, Tony, what is it for you with this? I mean, it would be really easy. I mean, because you're very trusting. You make the cars very available to people, and I mean to anyone. I mean, it can be somebody out of the grandstands. It can be a driver. What is the driving force for you to really want to keep this thing alive and keep these sort of cars moving forward?
I just like the old style cars, and of course, I love the leaf spring cars, and that's always been my goal, to keep the leaf spring cars going and show that they can compete. And that's just the way I've always been.
Mm-hmm.
If I know you didn't ask me a question, but just to throw something in, because Tony's pretty darn modest. He's got 6 cars. One's his own hobby stock, one's his Fireball, and then he's got the 4 rental cars, which is amazing. That whole idea started, like you said, in 2017. But, when he thought about this, this is not a regular class at Texana, obviously. It originated at Pleasanton at I-37, and now it's also a regular class at the Race Ranch in Corpus. And when he had this idea, he came to me in court. As a matter of fact, how we like to do business, we all went and sat down at lunch, and Tony said, I have an idea. He laid out a proposal with some numbers. He said, I'll bring this to the table. And he, right out of the box, jumped out and said, I'm going to pay for every single Fireball driver's pit pass out of my pocket. It's only going to cost those guys net $20 to race, unless they have to get a transponder, obviously, five expensive dollars for that. But he's covering everyone's pit pass. And then he took a gamble on being able to raise sponsors. But he's done this before. And it's it turns out to be a phenomenon every time. Over the 12 to 15 years now I've known Tony, he comes up with these ideas, and he'll get a little seed planted, and most of the sponsors end up being $100. So it makes it easy, right? You're going and looking for $1,000, $2,000. You got to go to a big business, and that's tough. But you have a whole bunch of people jump on for $100, and that's what he's got this time. And it
some
just
of them more.
Yep. Some of them are several hundred,
Yeah,
right?
got 300, 250. Of course, Cord helped a bunch. I mean, he sponsored a lot for this race too. It ain't all just me. And then, of course, Monty's been there with me the whole time.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of I do the behind the scenes stuff. I offered him $5, and he said, just hold on to that. So.
He's paying you. Keep that for your services. I think is probably what he's doing. So I do want to ask you guys, I mean, because we mentioned it right before y'all came on, just like it seems like any time, any racetrack this year or this time of year, weather could be an issue. But I think that it's super. I really, for a lot of reasons, are hoping that this race goes off as it's planned on Saturday. But I think the fact that the way that you guys worked with the other tracks and got this scheduled on a weekend where nothing. I mean, you guys are the show. Mm-hmm. I think you're going to have a pretty damn full pit gate of these cars coming in on Saturday.
We'd sure like to. That was actually the very first thing on the table when this idea was brought forward during that lunch. Tony asked what we thought. And I was kind of the first person to speak for me or Cord. I said, well, that's a cool idea, but I pulled up this matrix that Bobby has sent me. I try to keep it handy, Bobby, because it is really helpful. But he sent me a matrix of who all's racing. And I said, we're not going to do this when Pleasanton or Race Ranch are running, because that's a regular class. So we found this date, May 9th. We do have a backup date. We do have one backup date, and more specifically on that weekend, either Race Ranch or I-37 are running. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going off the top of my head, that'd be July 25th. Yeah. That's our backup. And then if we had to kick it one more time, we have one other idea late. But right now, we got it all eggs in the basket for this. But that was very, very critical, Rodney, Bobby, that we did not do this for this. Okay, factory stock, it's a different story. It's everywhere, right? But fireballs are at 2 tracks only, and we're not going to rob that class. We're not going to do that. And we have great respect for those promoters at those tracks, tremendous respect, tremendous working relationships. And so that was completely off the table. That was just kind of that was my little thing when we brought this up, and it just worked out perfect. So this weekend, it's all eggs in the basket, and it does, it's a perfect storm. I shouldn't say storm, but it's perfect for what we're after.
Absolutely.
So Tony, what's the difference between a fireball and a hobby stock? You know me, I'm a mechanical genius, so put it in terms that I can understand about the difference between the two cars, because you can run both, right? You take the same car in both, but I think one's got a chip and something else. That's about all.
Yeah, you can run the hobby stock in the fireball, but you cannot run the fireball in the hobby stock. It's way different. I mean, the fireball's got floater rear ends, they got way more motor, bigger intake. I mean, just everything is totally different. You can run a lot more cubic inches on motor. Yeah, there really ain't a whole lot of comparison to them.
Yeah.
Hobby, you would still have to run a chip, though, in a hobby if you bump up. And some guys are going to do that this weekend. They're going to try to run fireball as well. But you do have to install the rev limiter with the chip. It doesn't matter if you had a 6-cylinder. You got to have that rev limiter with the chip.
So it really is where with the phenomenon that is the factory stock. And again, I think that this weekend is so genius with you guys, because the huge Boot Hill race, that's a long way from Edna. So that's not really going to affect you. But the phenomenon that is a factory stock, if they were to try to run with the fireballs, a little bit of a disadvantage, if I know the rules correctly. Maybe?
Same thing with the hobby stocks. Definitely a disadvantage, but if it goes dry slick to me, all the motor goes away. It's all in the driving of the car.
Yep, absolutely.
I mean, we won races with my hobby stock at I-37 with my Camaro and the 355 the Nova. We won races up there in both of them.
Yep.
It is possible.
Yep.
This, I think you can see it right behind us, maybe over Tony's shoulder, that DTK Memorial Race. Was that with the Nova?
One of them was with the
Hobby
Fireball,
stock.
and one of them was with
Okay.
the 355 Nova.
Yeah, so he's taken it up there and done that, and
The last 2 years in a row, we won the big race up there.
That's excellent. Tony, I do want to ask you, because I was in my time when I was racing full time, I never ran a metric car. I was always a leaf spring guy, you know, as a Camaro or a Nova. And that was always the one thing about with your cars. And you told me, one of the first things you told me when I drove your car was that you're going to have hell spinning this thing out. Kind of talk about that part with leaf springs. And I did manage to spin it out, but kind of talk about the leaf spring part, man. I just love that you are focused on the leaf springs, man. That is as old school as you can find right there, man.
Well, that's what I started out in, and I had plenty years to tinker with them and piddle with them. Matter of fact, that 32 car I've owned now for 13 years. So, you know, just the more you mess with them, the more you learn. So that's why, you know, I've drove metric cars too, but I just love the leaf springs.
Yes, sir.
So in terms of, do they, other than the money, are we giving them a special trophy or anything this weekend, a big Fireball trophy, or are they just getting just a, I don't know, sometimes, Monty, you like to go extravagant with some of the trophies, so.
Some Fireball, maybe give them.
Yeah, give them a thing of Fireball.
Oh, well, there are a couple of things. Yep. So we'll talk about that. You know, I know they're going to have a trophy. I need to honestly check with Cord. It's probably along the lines of what our regular trophies are, but Jacob Burnett, I got to name him specifically. He used to race factory stock, and I don't want to say only he used to, because I'm sure he'll be back someday. He has 2 young children he and his wife Caitlin are focusing on. But Jacob is an incredible, anyone will tell you this, he's an incredible welder. He's an artist, and he has a side hustle. He is doing it's called 4, the number 4, and then BEE something. I put it on the Facebook page. I'm sorry, I'm pulling a blank. But anyway, he donated a little grill. It's a collapsible grill. The sides fold under, and then he engraved it. But it's really for hobby stocks, okay? But he's looking at maybe doing some other things this year, something for our banquet. So I kind of got my story crossed up. That's not for Fireballs. It's for hobby stocks. He'd already made it in advance. So that's a special thing. But definitely, hey, the Fireballs are going to have a fistful of money in their hand. They're coming in cheap. Pay for your fuel to get here in $20. That's what it's going to cost. A heck of a deal. And somebody will walk away with a nice trophy.
Yeah, absolutely. Monty Chamberlain and Tony Blankenship joining us, talking about the huge Fireball race coming up. $1,000 to win, $100 to start. Texana Raceway Park in Edna coming up, and Tony covering fees for guys coming in. I mean, that is massive. That is unheard of. I'll ask you both. I mean, with your long history there in Edna at Texana, we saw a post today, ongoing work, continuing improvements to the facility. It seems like every time you turn around, very much turning into a state-of-the-art racetrack right there. I'll ask you both, with your long tenures there, man, it's gotta be pretty prideful for you guys to see what TRP has become in a very short amount of time with Cord Beard there at the helm, man. That is quite the palace that you have happening.
Yeah, I'll let you go first to speak to that.
Go ahead, Tony.
Okay, well, I'm always long-winded, so Tony, don't think you're going to get shorted here. But Rodney, I'm going to roll that clock back just a bit more. It's the guy sitting on my right. Got that whole mojo kind of going in 2017. Bruce, the track was shut down in 16. Bruce Tesh owned it, and Tony approached him. Could he lease it? And he went in there and painted the whole place. That's why it's blue and yellow. He painted the whole place, got the place back alive, and we had a banner 2017. And technically, so this started the mojo going. Tony sold it for Bruce. Bruce recognized that, by the way, and he'll tell you that Tony's the reason the track sold. Off season of 17, it sold to the Dinsman family. They, got it fired up, kept it going. It just wasn't a good fit in time for them, so they were going to sell it or turn it into a different use. Cord, who grew up going to that track, had an opportunity. He put his foot in the door and said he'd like to buy it, and he bought it. I think that was late 2020, maybe. But that's when the things started really happening. and everyone recognizes that every single year Cord has done some tremendous capital improvement project. This week, pouring tons of money into 15 brand new state-of-the-art lights that we're replacing. He looked at a lighting project, but it was going to be very expensive from a third party. And that's not to say it won't happen down the road, but he did other capital improvements this last winter with the water tanks, and he actually came in like with laser levels and readjusted the grade on the property so it would drain better. He worked with the landowner next door to improve her drainage and built a new fence for her in the process. Just a lot of things. So to sum that up for me, because I'm too long-winded, and let Tony talk on this as a customer perspective, for me, we couldn't be more lucky in who our track owner is than Cord. We need in this area to have weather cooperate with us more often. Okay, we put some big things together, and then weather scares people. Even if the show is going on, it's going to scare people. And this is a rough time. You got to pay $5 for diesel, and most of the haulers are using diesel. You make some judicious decisions, and you don't just go driving for pleasure. You know, you need to know that there's going to be some reward, whether it's money or just the satisfaction that you get to compete. You don't want to drive somewhere and have to say, well, that was a waste. Okay. Mm-hmm. So we need weather to cooperate, obviously, just being a realist. But with regard to property and the facility, we could not be more lucky than to have the track owner we do, and to have the resources that he has to make things happen. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I follow this, and there ain't no money in those capital improvements. Trust me, There ain't no money coming back from capital improvements. That's just how it is. So you do it for the love. And Tony, I'll shut up. Go ahead.
Everything we need to say, but yeah, Cord just amazing track owner and amazing friend. And like I said, he helped a lot out with this Fireball. I appreciate him letting us do it. And, I mean, it's definitely a top-notch track, the cleanest track. Never will see a tall piece of grass on it. I mean, it is everything top-notch.
Yeah, and you know, it's something as simple, sorry, Bobby, it's something as simple as what Bobby was just talking about. We were talking about, I mean, and I remember, you know, one of the first times I went to Texana, you know, the old bathrooms. And again, that's one of those things to where it's like when your customer's coming in, because it's a customer. You can call it a race fan, you can call it whatever the hell you want to call it. It's a customer that's coming in. And the funny thing about it, when you think of a restroom, you don't think of that as like a palatial whatever, but you don't want to be pissing in a trough, and you don't want the plumbing backed up, and you don't want no toilet paper. He immediately took care of that. And it's things like that, I think, that make him a great track owner as well.
Top notch and air conditioned.
That's right.
It's the coldest spot on the property in the middle of the summer.
Yeah.
So guys, what's the Tony, are you racing both? You're going to run both, or you got somebody in both your hot seats there for the two races?
GW is going to drive the hobby stock in hobby, and he's going to drive the Fireball in a Fireball, but I'm going to drive the hobby stock in Fireball.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to try to do double duty. Leave it up to young man GW to do that.
I'm sure he'll be on the top shelf like fine high-dollar liquor, I'm sure.
The track owner will be racing this weekend. He'll be racing in the 354 car, but he'll hang with hobby, right?
Yeah.
So any names that you guys have, I mean, because the Fireball list, I mean, the other thing that I really think is cool about the Fireballs with bringing cars out of the woodwork, it also brings drivers out of the woodwork, it seems like. I mean, we have guys that hadn't turned laps in a while that are suddenly back in these things. Any idea on some of the shoes? I don't have to drop names, but let's talk about a better forecast of drivers. Do you guys think it's going to be a pretty good one?
Think so.
Yeah, he mentioned some names this afternoon to me. There's a friend of ours who used to race street stocks with us real avid. He has been busting his ass, burning the midnight oil, getting a car ready that hasn't hit the track yet. Another buddy of ours who hasn't been competing in Fireball. Someone bought a Fireball and is putting him in the car. He'll be there this weekend. We have talked to several guys that run routinely at I-37. And we are very blessed that they're going to come down, very fortunate and very pleased to have them some of the, the real hot shoes right now in that class, if I'm not going to name names, but there's one that's won several times coming down. We're not certain, but it's sounding like there could be 25 of these things showing up. That's the vibe.
Yeah, I heard
Bobby
couple
mentioned
Cotton Bowl cars are coming too from some people
Yes.
that told me at TMS. So we'll get some Cotton Bowl cars in a couple of different classes too. So that'll be fun. What were you going to say, Monty?
I'm very sorry, Bobby. Last season, I guess it was the 2025 season, we experimented with something because we had the first race of the season and nobody was running. So we tried to have fireballs and
Had one.
we had one. But there was no incentive. But this is a big deal. And I think this is one of those things where you look at it from a synergy standpoint. It's like they told two friends and they told two friends. And so the synergy just built up and the folks got excited about it. And it's going to be a real treat for our fans here. They haven't, limiteds have a certain tone to them. Okay. Modifieds have a certain tone. But those fender cars with that much motor, with the headers pointed down, there's just nothing that sounds like them. Most of them are pointed down. Some of them are shot out the side of the body, but there's nothing that sounds like those. And it's just going to be a real treat for the fans to see these cars on the track, along with the one visit this year from sprint cars. We do not have sprint cars routinely, and that's going to be an awesome blend in. So just really exciting weekend.
I have to tell you, Monty, I think, and Tony, both of you guys, I think one thing that's real, it's so many things that you guys do over there that I like, but it's not one of those things to where you're doing this, you're bringing in a fireball event like this in a big manner, and not so much of just adding a class. I mean, you see a lot of tracks, and again, I'm not casting shade at anyone, but it's like, okay, we're adding X class, whatever. The manner that you're doing it, you're bringing a big show in. Is this something where maybe along the lines down the road that this could become a more repetitive class if all of this kind of, pans itself out well this weekend?
Well, that's a double-edged sword to approach that these days because it took us a while to grow this hobby stock class,
Yeah.
and now that thing has turned out pretty dang good. It's a scary venture to try to add another class unless you saw one dying. And it would be a hard pill for me to swallow to think about right now because I don't want us to have any impact about this class right here and the way it's going for Pleasanton and Corpus. We may stretch it too thin if we tried to touch it. We have interest from other classes wanting to come visit, but you got to get enough. It's a distance thing. We've been, approached about having front runners one night, but again, from my perspective, it needs to be a night that we're not going to be competing to rob a customer. That's just a big deal with me. Maybe I'm too something, but that's
you're too damn honest, Monty. You're too damn honest.
It's a big deal to me.
You do business the right way, man. That's not acceptable. I'm just kidding.
I think we could say, so let me cautiously say this. I don't know that this is in the cards for a regular class unless this whole thing, you started having 50 cars at every track. Hey, then there's something to pull from.
Got no choice.
But
Yep.
I do see this happening again, something like this, where that it's exciting to the competitors, a place to go to and do something different. It's exciting for the fans, but you don't want to wear it out and you don't want to try to launch something that it's not good timing.
Absolutely.
So as always, most up-to-date information in the event of weather would be the Facebook page. I know I get a text, but you're not going to mass text everybody that's outside of the text group. But hopefully, like Rodney and I said, we didn't think we were going to race Friday night with a 90% chance of rain, and it didn't rain a drop at Texas Motor Speedway. So you never know what's going to happen down there by the coast. So I'm looking forward to it. It's a lot of work for me, learning some new drivers and having the sprint cars come in. But I had a pretty good text conversation with Tony from Race On, and we got some stuff ready to rock and roll and going to have a good time there on Saturday night with the sprint cars and the fireballs. I'm looking forward to it, guys. Look forward to see you guys on well, I guess I won't see you Saturday, Monty, but I'll see you for sure, Tony.
Yeah, I'll be down Clearwater Beach, Florida, starting this week.
Oh,
Our
you're
annual.
missing this.
We have a go-to place, my wife and I. We found a go-to place every year, and that's it. But, I want to say thank you guys for giving us the opportunity to talk here tonight. Tony was chomping at the bit for this 2 weeks ago when I tried to get him to do this. He was so excited.
I'm sure.
Yeah, y'all wouldn't know what that meant.
But we appreciate that. And I'm going to say publicly, we can't thank Tony Blankenship enough for planting the seed and getting this thing off the ground. It takes a lot. It takes a village approach. It takes a lot of people to launch something like this. And man, he brought the 25 sponsors to the table, and that's what it took. And I think that's going to be a trend we need to see more in the future for someone who loves a certain class that'll take a ball and run with it. It's not like the old days anymore where any track, I don't feel like, can just reach in their pockets and pay some big purse thinking everybody's going to show up. It takes people like Tony to light that fire. And we so appreciate him and everything he does, supporting the track and all those darn cars he brings.
And I think a big part of that is, lastly, to close it out, guys, is I think that we as racers and race fans, when it's somebody like Tony that's a racer that we know, that we trust, I think that really instills a lot of trust, honestly, to where it's like, okay, if Tony Blankenship is buying into this and he's putting himself out in front of this is something that is going to work. And I think that's a big part of the success of this, man. I'm so excited, and I may even drive out for this one. I think I may be able to make this one, weather permitting. Again, everybody, best place, the Facebook page. I know David Good was on here a couple of weeks ago from Heart of Texas, and he talked about, weather conditions where people would say, well, it's not raining at my house. Well, we're not racing at your house. So stay tuned to the Facebook page, I guess, is the best place for everything, to chart everything.
Yeah. I spoke too soon a couple of weeks ago, real quick, and as we close. I went out there, took a picture on Friday, and it looked amazing. It was beautiful. And then I left the track. I'm not kidding you. I left the track. What was it, Tony? 30 minutes later, a storm that was supposed to come over my house 30 miles away to the northeast. I live in Wharton County, okay? The edge of Wharton County.
Playboy.
Yes. It was supposed to come over my house. And that storm moved slightly to the west and absolutely hammered downtown Edna up to the track. It's like, what was that about? And then my beautiful picture was ruined. So that's just part of the cards, but we're gonna hope for positive, and you don't trust the forecast. Okay. Don't trust no forecast until that day is there.
That's right. Exactly right. Good stuff, guys. Wish you all the best. Tony, as always, thank you for everything. Thank you for stepping up and making this happen. Monty, you're doing an amazing job out there, you guys. All the best, man. Looking forward to it, and we'll recap it once it's all said and done.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, boys. Take care.
Bye-bye.
You bet. There they go. Big one coming up, Bobby. That is going to be one hell of a show.
It's going to be a lot of fun, that's for sure.
I think the weather's going to hold out. I think everything's going to be fine. And it really is. They're with Tony. I mean, that really is a guy where people trust that dude. And he does. He will put anyone in a car. I mean, all you have to do is, however, whether it's the raffle or whatever they're doing, he will put you in the car. He just wants to grow the sport. I mean, he's a lifer, man. He's a lifer. Need more of those guys.
Yeah, 40 seasons strong at Texana this year. So
yeah, absolutely. Good stuff there.
86 to 2026.
Yep. $1,000 to win, $100 to start. Tony's covering all the pit fees. Doesn't matter if it's 10 cars, doesn't matter if it's 25 cars or whatever. So he's just continuing to give back. That's happening at Texana Raceway Park Saturday. Be sure and monitor the Facebook page, because that's going to be the key to all of that as we get closer to that event coming up on Saturday. Also this weekend, we talked about factory stocks, completely opposite side of the country, as we like to call it around here, the country, which is Texas. So let's go diving in. You got a lot of money on the line coming up at Boot Hill Speedway. Spring Nationals coming up for the factory stocks. The best of the best will be on hand. Joining us on the hotline, the man that took that money home last year, the young man. It is, let's welcome in Dustin Hennigan. How we doing, buddy?
Good. How about yourself?
Yeah, Oh, there he is. All right. Doing good, man. How's the preparation going, dude? You ready to defend that title?
That's the goal. We just showed up to the train. We're getting set up and ready for tomorrow. This kickoff practice.
Absolutely.
So is it, Dustin, is this the topless one, or is that the other one that's topless with the factory stocks? I can't get them. I always get them backwards. Which one's the topless one? Is it this one or the next one?
This one's the topless one.
That's so weird. I've never seen a convertible Monte Carlo before, but I guess we're going to see a whole bunch of them tonight and this weekend.
Yeah, this is going to be my first time topless with them, so.
So Dustin, talk about last year, man. So that one came down to the very end. I mean, walk us back through that race, man. Just a hell of a ride right there, and taking home the big money. We have it pulled up on the screen right there, where you're on top of the car with a top last year. Kind of recap all that. I'm sure right now you're trying to not think about that because that's in the past, but relive that one for us.
Yeah, I started third in the feature and took the lead on lap 2, and then led for about 15 laps, and then had a racing incident. Went to the rear, was coming up through the field, and had a right front, and kept having some calls. I was picking them off left and right, and then with 23 to go, we had a long run, and I think it was 2 or 3 to go. I was able to slide the lead and lead the last 2 laps.
Hell yeah.
It's crazy. So on a big race like this, I always ask people, is the preparation any different? I mean, are you triple checking a nut and bolt versus just double checking it? I mean, are you going more in depth this time for this big money race than you do any other week, or are you just trying to keep it as normal as you can so that you can just keep it as normal as you can for a normal race weekend?
So last year, this same race was my first race of the year on the car. This year we're going to do the same thing and just kind of get it ready throughout the off season. We took the motor out, sent it back to get looked at and freshened up, and we got it back last week, put it in the car, and we're just going to try some things tomorrow and then make sure everything runs right. And if we have problems, go through and fix it for tomorrow night's or Friday night's practice or heat races, kind of setting up for the Saturday big show.
Absolutely. So, Dustin, I mean, there's no doubt with the money on the line with this, some of the big hitters, anybody that you have circled that you know, I mean, kind of in your opinion, as the defending champion, that you're going to have to deal with here. I mean, the list of names, I mean, Kemp, Faulkner, I mean, all of these guys. Anybody in particular that you've watched this year that you think is going to be coming guns a-blazing, trying to take that win from you?
Really, everybody. I feel like this is the most competitive class. Like every night you go out, there's not just one person that wins every week. You got different winners at each week, every track, and this class is all over in Louisiana, part of Oklahoma. So it's like I feel like there might be 140, hopefully more cars here. That's how many were last year, and out of them 140, probably 140 of them can win it.
Yeah.
So really everybody.
Absolutely.
So Dustin, what makes the factory stock so fun? Obviously, like you said, there's a boatload of cars between the tri-state area and Oklahoma and all that. So there's nothing factory about a factory stock anymore. They used to have a lot more factory parts on them, but what makes them so much fun to drive? Is it just the competitive nature of it? Is it that you can play around with a metric chassis? I mean, what makes them so fun? What makes them so popular as a whole?
They've been around since I've been a kid growing up in racing, and the class just grew when I was younger, and just how competitive it is, and you kind of can run side by side and rubbing a little bit.
Yes, sir. Kind of talk about some of the other stuff that you've done this year. I know you said first time out with the factory, grand entrance right here. But kind of talk about everything else that you've been doing.
I run a USRA modified. I've been up to Lucas Oil, Arrowhead this year, running with USMTS and all them shows. I got one win so far. multiple top fives. We've been consistent all year in the mod, and just trying to run when we can with the shows, and mainly the big shows around here. Just try to hit those up, get better. Just when we have a weekly show, be able to maybe win.
Yes, sir.
So just out of curiosity, obviously you don't have to tell us where it all went. What the hell did you do with all that big check money last year? Did you put it all back in the car? Did you take a vacation? I mean, what does somebody do when they win a check that big?
Well, I drive for somebody in the car, so obviously it's right for half to go back to the car owner to fix the car and make sure the car gets back running, and then from there we'll figure you kind of settle up. But I still got most of it. I'm a picky guy, so I like to save my money and
Nice.
spend it on good things. Most of it probably just went. They're starting to run go karts around here, so I just bought me a go kart and just kind of try to watch what I spend, and mainly it's just spending on reasonable stuff.
That's impressive because you're a very young dude, and a lot of times young dudes don't do that. I mean, did you spend some of that? I saw some pictures on Facebook. I saw you all dressed up and stuff. Did you spend some of that on a wardrobe, man? You're looking awful fly there in that suit that I saw you dressed on Facebook.
That was prom. I think
Oh, you
2 years.
did that one.
Yeah, that one was about 2 years ago.
Nice.
Jeff Hammond, he's always giving me a hard time, and
Yeah.
he posted it.
Nice.
That's fun. That's fun. So, so what's after this one? You gonna run the mod some more? You gonna try to hit the big ones? I mean, what's next after obviously the focus this weekend is on this big one, but I mean, what all you got down the pipe coming up for the rest of 26?
Oh, I think I'm going to run most of the Tom series and the American Racing series with my modified, and kind of see where we're at in the points in those. And we got some more big factory stock races. Another one here at Boot Hill, the King of the Hill. Been close to that one the last 2 years. I've had top fives in it, and that's one I really want to get and be able to be a King of the Hill winner. There's a lot of people in that one, and it's a big history around here.
Yeah. Last one for me, Dustin. Is Boot Hill the king of the factory stocks? Honestly, I mean, I see a lot of back and forth where it's like we talk about different drivers, and sometimes the discussion comes up about racetracks, and I think the South is left out of that where we are because it's definitely up there. Is that truly the factory stock place? Because it seems like it to me, because that's where all the big shit happens.
This is the Architects region, I guess. Architect Speedways, Gene Borders started the factory stocks, if I'm right. It's before I was born, and around here, everybody, no, you can't pick who's going to win just by showing up. It really depends how the nights goes, and if you go up the Dallas area, you have your guys that show out up there, and where y'all are from, I really don't get to watch much. I think Maupin, dominates down there.
Yep.
And all the Dallas drivers says it's a different ball game when they come around here and race. We got more traction. Looks like we're out there, and we can stick in the corner and not sliding kind of like they are. But I feel like it's all equal if you go around where Maupin is. Maupin's there. If you go around Dallas, you got your Jeffrey Abbey, Cody Smith, all them guys up front. So it really just feels like maybe home track territory. Like you get to run there weekly and kind of have your stuff set up for there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, dude, we're not going to keep you any longer. We know you're at the track, and you don't want to be distracted by two dudes like us. So we'll let you go. Best of luck, man. Going for the double and getting it back to back. So best of luck, man. Let us know how it goes, and then if you win, we'll bring you back on to talk about the big win on Saturday night.
That's right.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Take it easy, man. Good luck, dude.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
You bet. There he goes. Dustin Hennigan looking to back up that $30,000 payday and do it again. And humble young man right there. Grounded, saving money. I'm having to learn how to budget right now, Bobby, at the age of 40.
Yeah. I'm the only one that knows your real age anyway. So,
And I'm over here wearing these kind of damn T-shirts I'm buying. It's like, okay, whatever. Yeah. I couldn't pass this one up.
you buy that at TMS or what?
No, I got this in Phoenix. They had. I don't think they had this. This I only saw this at Phoenix and the tracks that I've been to this year. They have like a whole retro merch trailer of stuff.
Oh yeah, they had one at Rockingham.
Oh, did they? Okay, well, yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, I walked by and I saw this, and I kind of bartered with them a little bit and got it a little bit cheaper.
They're expensive. They want like the retro Sunoco shirt was like $40.
Yeah, this cost me some merchandise of the company that I work for to kind of get this down a little bit. I'm sure that they probably weren't supposed to do that either, but anyway, I did. Couldn't pass it up. But yeah, Dustin Hennigan looking to go right there, and it really is. I mean, Boot Hill, that's another one where, I mean, when you talk about, the places that you really want to get to, I do want to get there to see the place. I've been close to it. I was actually down there, and I was busy for work, and I couldn't get there, and I missed. They had a big factory stock race that I just couldn't get to. But I mean, no offense to our factory stock tracks around here, but that's really where the shit hits the fan, man. That is the place. That is the speedorama of factory stock racing.
I mean, most factory stocks, pay what, $1,000 to win on a good night.
Yeah,
and they're racing for 30 times that.
Yeah, exactly. And they're going to bring the best of the best, and then some. And that's why I think that the Fireball event with you guys way down south at Edna is so big, because you're going to have folks that may have the opportunity to get into that, or that don't want to take the factory stock all the way over there for whatever reason, because that's one of those things where if you go to that race, if you go to the Spring Nationals half-ass, I mean, you might as well forget it. You're not going to make the show. So that's why I think this one here at Edna is a big opportunity where guys or ladies, can get in and have a good night. Have a good night for good money.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I still don't like the topless thing.
Yeah,
you don't see a topless Monte Carlo.
Yeah,
I mean, that to me just doesn't. I don't know. Not that they give a damn what I think, but it's just really weird to see a topless. There was no reason to make them topless.
We've had that conversation before. I mean, you and I on the down low. I mean, I personally don't like to see modifieds or limited modifieds topless. I mean, I don't know, man. This ain't IndyCar racing. Come on.
There's only certain things I want to see topless at a racetrack, and cars are not usually one of them.
No, it's usually just men. That's all I want to see topless, or a beer can. That's about all that I want to see topless. I don't know. Y'all can break that out into the chat, and we can discuss topless versus topless. But yeah, that's my whole thing with. And here's where I go back to the topless thing. We have a special guest that's going to join us here after we run a couple of ads after this rant. But it's one of those things where in all the years that I raced stock cars, and I know I bring up when I raced, which I've never retired, but I bring up when I raced. But if I was going to take the roof off my car, I was probably going to miss a couple of weeks because it's like mounted. It was part of the body. It's part of the body. You can't just cut that shit out. Well, you could. I mean, you could, but I think you get what I mean. It's like you say, Monte Carlos. I guess there was a T-top Monte Carlo back in the mid-'80s, the 86, 87. I think you probably could, but that's not the point.
That's a T-top, though. That's not a convertible.
That's a T-top. But hey, they can do whatever they want to do because there's going to be a lot of cars. And
they're still going to get them. I mean, you could tell them to paint them all with a purple radiator cap and a pink spoiler. Now I'll show up with a purple radiator cap and a pink spoiler.
That's exactly right. That is exactly right. All right, coming up, special guest. But before we do that, if you're heading to a racetrack somewhere, you need to have the My Race Pass app because it's the only way to keep up with everything, not only at the track that you're at, but tracks all around the country, dirt, asphalt, motocross, whatever. The My Race Pass app. Get it today.
Welcome to the My Race Pass app, the #1 app for motorsports fans. We want to make sure you get the most out of your My Race Pass app experience. With your new free account, you can use the My Race Pass app to see race day information, including event entries and official lineups and results for over 600 organizations across North America. You can also see track information and purchase online event tickets for select tracks. With your free account, you can also search for a track or series on the My Race Pass app and favorite their profile to receive news and race day notifications on your mobile device. To see more information and to see which app subscription is best for you, be sure to visit getmrpapp.com. My Race Pass, the ultimate racing resource.
All right, so we're back. Surprisingly, there we go.
Well, I was actually trying to play a commercial. Got to tell you about our friends at Audio Visual Consultations. Been a while since I've run the board here. AV Consultations, if you're in the Central Texas area, 512-255-8678. They will come in and get your home theater system set up, your home stadium system, whatever you're looking to do. As a matter of fact, they were here. That's why you see kind of some of these bare walls behind me. If you've watched the show for any amount of time, you know that there's usually a couple of 65-inch TVs mounted up here behind me. They've been relocated. My other go-to is gone as well. In the studio transformation, they came in and did that and reset them, and the price was extremely affordable. They can do that for you. It doesn't matter if you want a home theater projection system. If you want the multi-screens like I have, whatever it is, they will do it for you. 512-255-8678. It's avconsultations.com. Check them out online. Use the code word Revved up when you talk to Tom at 512-255-8678. You'll get a little bit of a savings right there. That's Revved up. Be sure and mention that to Tom and a lot of people. It's Audio Visual Consultations, avconsultations.com. Good stuff.
That's right.
Yeah,
I've seen the new setup.
New setup is pretty damn cool, I gotta say. All right, so we've got and this was a very late add-on. I had to text Bobby during the break here. That's kind of one of the reasons we got a little discombobulated right here about what we have going on. We've talked a lot on the program this year in 2026 about the future of racing with the quarter midgets. Quarter midgets have one hell of an opportunity coming up this weekend. We talk about all the kiddos and the folks that have graduated out and doing different things, but these kids have the opportunity this weekend to race at, say what you want to say, Circuit of the Americas in Elroy, Austin, is one of the finest race facilities in the world. I'm not just talking about the U.S., in the world. And those kiddos are getting the opportunity to race there. We wanted to throw a few minutes at our man, Captain Bruce Wright, to talk about that. Bruce, dude, that it has to be. How the hell would you have acted if you, as young Bruce Wright, would have been racing at COTA? You'd have been out there taking a piss over there by the tower and stuff. I mean,
I remember as a kid, we were allowed to take a parade lap at Longhorn, and we thought that was a big deal. So, yeah. Me and Miss Ellie pulled up today to meet the NASCAR Youth Series president and the volunteers of the Austin group to get our trailers parked. And wow. So first, what a big weekend. They're having all of USAC's classes. So it's Porsche, Mustangs, there's IMSA. There's 3 or 4 classes that are racing the big track, and they put us inside of turn 12. So literally our hauler is 15 foot from the apex of turn 12. And man, they are screaming by, and we got the quarter midget track getting set up there. It is going to be loud and wild all weekend long.
That's right up your alley. Loud and wild. That like
loud and wild. Yes, sir.
If you wrote a book, that would be the title of your
book. That's a good title. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good title. So yeah, we actually took a little bit of time. So we come down here to the brain trust of Jake Wright Motorsports and Kruger Motorsports. We're in Bastrop, checking on the progress of the modified. It looks good. Looks like it's really coming together now. Yeah, we're staying in Bastrop tonight, and we're setting up the track tomorrow. So I wanted to give a shout out to anybody who wants to come out.
Bruce, do the kids, I mean, I'm sure some of them do, but do they understand the magnitude of where they're getting to perform? That, man, this isn't some just makeshift place. They're getting to be at arguably one of the most famous racing facilities in the freaking world.
Yeah. I think the older kids get it because a lot of these guys were in Dega 2 weeks ago. But in Dega, they ran the parking lot, right? We're actually inside the track, right? So the little guys like Logan, he's heard the term, he's seen it on TV, but I don't know that it's hit him yet. But some of the older kids, yeah, I think it has. I think it's really starting to, at least it will after tomorrow. I mean, there's going to be over 200 quarter midgets there, possibly up to 300. We don't know yet. But I know when I was driving down today, saw a trailer from Nebraska, followed him for a while. So, yeah, they're coming in from everywhere, man. It is going to be a time. And just the way they got it set up, it's really, really cool. So it's just a little bit shorter than San Antonio, but it's wide. So there's going to be a lot of opportunity for passing. And then just literally doing your program, and in the background there goes these Porsches and Mustangs and whatever zipping around. When we parked our trailer, I just took a video. I was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Look at this shit here." It was really cool, man. It was awesome.
It's great.
I didn't realize that Bastrop had such a great cell reception. That's really good over there. You're so crystal clear. It's like you're sitting right next to us, dude.
Well, I'm pretty proud of myself because my camera wasn't working, and then I figured out how to turn it on. And I didn't want to go inside the shop because I usually get about 1 bar. I got 4 bars. It's good. I'm right out here up front.
You're at the Kruger compound. I mean, they know people. They know people. So they're going to have the most fiber optic shit that you're going to find over there.
There's some shit going on over here, buddy. There's some shit going on.
So Bruce, what's the schedule for the quarter midgets? I mean, the other stuff is fine. I mean, but it's kind of one of those things where if I would be able to get out there, I've watched Porsches, I've watched all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm really curious about this. So what's the on-track time and race events for you guys?
So here we go. So tomorrow we're going to be staging all of the trailers from all of the competitors. Right now they're coming in as we speak, and they will be all night long. So tomorrow is basically staging the trailers, getting everybody where they need to be for their pits, getting their stuff set up, and then doing our check-ins. The drivers' meeting starts early, Friday morning at 7:30. The junior Hondas, which is Logan's class, and again, we don't know how many cars. There could be 20, there could be 120. We don't know yet.
Yeah.
They're going to be the first practice session. Get this, 90 seconds is what we get. That's it.
It's like the
90
dirt
seconds,
track, dude.
90 seconds, and you get to figure out, do I have the right tires? Do I have the right gear? Do I have the right stagger? I mean, it's like, I've been doing this shit a long time, and I've never been told 90 seconds. Yeah. So, yeah, everybody gets 90 seconds. Then I'm still not quite sure how this works, but from what I understand, it's all computer generated. So the drivers will get a number chosen by the computer, a random draw. And that's going to dictate their starting position, and whatever heat the computer says, that's what they're going to be in. And then game on. So Friday is going to be heat races and lower mains. And then Saturday is going to be features, A mains. So all day long. So I don't see any lights. So we'll probably run till 5:36. And the same for Saturday. Now we're also fighting the weather too. So it's going to be dancing around some raindrops. But we're prepared. NASCAR brought some of their stuff, and of course the Austin group, Joey Jenkins, my VP, he's got some stuff in his truck. We brought some stuff here. Robert Walton's going to be out there. We're gonna make this happen.
So to watch you guys, I mean, so do you just go in like you would Dakota? Go in, general entrance.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
So
I figured when you said
I don't know
learned
it
this
ain't
the
gonna
hard
be
way.
that simple.
So
Come on.
yeah, you get these, right? You get these wristbands. So what you do is you either come in off of 812 or Elroy. I actually came in off of 812, but I think Elroy might be a little bit easier if the local guys. But anyway, you turn in
I jinxed it.
You jinxed it.
I sure did.
You jinxed it. Hot damn. Well, we'll see if he's able to get back in. But yeah, that so
You know, if
I'm
we
thinking,
rain out down there, that'd be a lot of fun to go to. All those kids.
so I'm thinking if you go in on Elroy, so you're probably going to have to go into one of those tunnels to get yourself in there. But that sounds like a lot of fun because, and yeah, you're right, because the other part about that is if they're going to run in the rain. I mean, like the sports cars, hell, they'll run in the mist. I mean, that doesn't matter. But man, that's why I wanted to hear how to get over to them, because that does sound like a boatload of fun. And that, I mean, imagine that, Bobby, to get to be a kiddo and get to run anywhere at Coda. God damn, how great is that, man?
If they just, as long as they take it in, right? The problem is you don't want to see the parents get so. I'm at Coda, and they just get that extra gear where you're like, take the fun out of it,
Yeah. Yeah, and I do think that we lost Bruce's feed right there. Yeah, because I kind of was wondering that myself. That was working so well. But anyway, wait a minute. I think he may have jumped back in. So let's see if we got him. There's the captain. Okay, so
Sorry
you were saying.
so
okay.
whether you come in off of Elroy or you're coming off of 812, either way, you come into Coda Boulevard, then go to Tunnel 2.
Tunnel 2.
And then there's a little security gate there with the credentials office, and tell them that you're there to see and spectate the NASCAR Youth Series, the quarter midget races, and they'll get you the wristbands and come on in. It's free admission.
Nice.
And you just come on in and watch, enjoy it.
That's awesome, dude.
That might be a fun little field trip if we rain out down there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be a blast, man. You guys definitely need to go check this out. This is going to be something for the record books for sure.
Man, I might roll up in there, take some koozies and stuff, and
come on with it. I'll be the trailer closest to the track. come see it. We even brought a little 22-inch flat plate, so there might or might not be a little bit of fajitas and hamburgers and stuff cooking off over there. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Nice. Very nice, dude. I'm excited for y'all, man. That is so freaking cool, man. That it's a big deal, man. And kind of touch on that before I let you go. Just the word NASCAR. I mean, I know a lot of people are going to frown on that, blah, blah, blah. I get it. I mean, I get it. There's things that happens there that pisses me off too, whatever. But
it moves the needle.
It does open a lot of doors, doesn't it? It opens doors.
It does. It moves the needle. And, say what you want about Host Farm. I'm not the biggest Host Farm fan, but he's a quarter midget guy, and he actually said it on live TV, right? So and he's just the latest one. I mean, Gordon, name it, right? Mike Bliss, a bunch of those guys, the older crowd, they all grew up doing this stuff, right? So it's not the only way to get there, but it's certainly one of the ways to get there, and it's popular around the country. It's gaining ground here. Everybody says, car counts. Yeah, I mean, the car counts weren't great in Houston, but they're pretty good at the quarter midget track.
Yeah.
They really are.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I don't know if you can see that, Bruce, but our man and staff member, Sugar Sean Folsom, offering guest photography if you may need it.
Right. Okay. Come on, Sugar Sean. Tunnel 2.
Yeah. Sean knows where it is. Bobby, you got anything else? You got anything else, my man?
I'm happy for the kids, man. I really am. Yeah. Like it's when you're competitive, it's good for them, one, to experience the new track. And it's good for them to experience new racers, because I think that changes you get so accustomed to, we all knew it racing weekly when we were racing. You get so used to racing the same people over and over, you know what to expect. Now you get to elevate your driving to a whole different level, that you got to come in and go deep inside to figure out how to race a completely different group of guys and gals.
And I've told this to all of our new families. Mary looks at me and says, well, Bruce, you've been doing this a long time, but I've never done it this way.
Yeah.
The way I did it, the way Chris and Jake did it, is completely different than this. So I said, we're all learning together. We were 90 seconds. I mean, what are you going to learn in 90 seconds? I mean, we're all gonna figure it out. I guarantee you one thing. I have been burning the midnight oil for the last 3 weeks. We put together 4 brand spanking new race cars and got them. I got ours lettered, vinyled up last night, loaded this morning, and hit the road at lunch. Right. So me and Miss Ellie have just been jobbing out on these things.
Is that the ones you picked up in North Carolina? I was gonna try to meet you for lunch, but we were zigging and zagging in two different directions. So
Yeah, the thing looks really cool.
That's awesome.
It looks really, really good. I'm pretty
That's awesome.
all in designs, kicked ass on the graphics. It just Phil's trailers. I mean, all of our guys that have always sponsored us, LT Division and Siddons Martin, Moore Law Firm. They're on the little car. So
Right.
yeah, and then they're more excited about the little car than they are the big cars.
Yeah, I'm
You know
sure.
what I'm
I
saying?
mean, there's
So-
a lot of momentum there. I mean, that's the whole thing where it's like,
Yeah.
with the big stuff, it's kind of like, but yeah. Kick ass, dude.
Yeah.
So excited for y'all. Hey, look over your shoulder, man. You may see me kiss you on the cheek, dude. I'm excited.
Come on, bring it, man. We'll be there. Me and Miss Ellie will be there 7:30 in the morning, and we ain't stopping till it stops Saturday night. So
I
come
don't
on.
think I'll go that early, but I may see you at some point.
10-4, man. Y'all be good. Thank you.
Captain,
Yeah,
take
Bruce.
care, brother.
All right. Bye, guys.
You bet. Who's more excited, him or the kids?
Yeah, tossed up. Flip a coin right there on that one.
Oh man, I love that dude right there. That's why, him being a part of that right there, he is that shit's infectious. And that's where we go back to all the time with all the negativity about racing. It's like, with all the negative stuff that infects people. You feel that and it turns you off. When you hear that right there, look, I had no inclination to even think about going to COTA, but now I kind of want to go to COTA.
Yeah, if something happens and if the forecast and the reality and the forecast don't match up, hell, that might be a fun little field trip. You think about it, take a camera and some microphones and interview some of them kids when they win. I don't think NASCAR would be all that upset if we were trying to do that.
Absolutely, man. They don't care. I mean, that's where, like he said, you walk up there and tell them you're going to watch, I'm going to hand you your wristband. I mean, that's a nice change compared to some of the other stuff. But yeah, really cool. So that's coming up. Circuit of the Americas, the NASCAR Youth Series. You've got the Austin group, the San Antonio group. Our kiddos getting the opportunity to race inside of Circuit of the Americas. I saw some of on the chat here. Chat's kind of getting out of control here. Can't keep up. But I think the last time they were racing outside of the place and all that. And that's kind of usually what happens. Like you said at Talladega, they were outside of the facility and got to race inside. And I think that's one of the cool things that when the youth series went to Houston a couple of years ago, to where they were so excited to be like in the bowl. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not, you're not just kind of there, you're in there. And that is so damn awesome, man. To be 10 years old again for many reasons. Yeah, that'd be so cool.
Yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun for those kiddos. I just hope that I just hope the parents don't mess that up.
Yeah.
I know that sounds bad, but
yeah, parents don't you're on a big stage. Don't show your ass is what we're going to tell you, right? Don't go to COTA and be that helicopter parent and live your dream through the kid on one afternoon. You know what I mean?
They're not going to be the next Jeff Gordon after 90 seconds.
Right. It's not going to happen. You're not going to be the next Max Verstappen or Lewis Hamilton or any of those people after 90 seconds.
Yeah, you're not going to happen after 90 seconds. Give it a minute.
But think about that for the young kids. I mean, especially the ones that truly have the possibility to excel their career forward, to put on your resume, oh yeah, at the age of 11, 10, 12, whatever, I raced at Circuit of the Americas, because you did. Doesn't matter. I mean, doesn't matter if you didn't race the international course, you raced at COTA. That's pretty cool.
It's pretty good. Gonna be a lot of cool stuff.
Yep. A little TMS breakdown coming up. She's back. I said that on the video. The old girl's back. Texas Motor Speedway. We'll break that down before we cut you out of here. But before we do that, how about a word from the official apparel provider of the Revved Up Sports Show, of Dirty Air Sports, of Bobby Chaffee. It's on-demand shirts out of San Antonio.
Why is branded apparel so important for your company? Well, because a shirt or even a hat that has your brand on it gets worn to grocery stores, baseball games, or even family reunions. The impressions are endless and they last years. Contact us today so we can help elevate your company.
So it sure looks like to me, Bobby, that TMS has found its niche. All the conversations about, change it to Atlanta, which doesn't need to happen. Make it a short track. That doesn't need to happen. There's a short track there. If you want a short track, pave the dirt track. TMS, as it's weathered and with bumps and all these different things, I think that they have found them. I would like to see that as one of the possible finale races at this point with the racing that we're seeing there.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was an entertaining race. It really was. I mean, it was just. It had everything that you needed to be an entertaining race. That's all. That's the easiest way to say it. It had everything that you needed to have an entertaining race. It had crashes. It had fights. Well, not fisticuff, but had the exciting racing action side by side. The whole race weekend was great.
Yeah.
Between high limits, the truck race was outstanding. I thought the truck race was great. The O'Reilly Auto Parts Series race was very entertaining. And Cup really, surprisingly, did not disappoint as what a lot of us thought it might.
Yeah. And it's, it's the race fan is such an interesting dynamic, I guess is what I'll say, because it's, when you had the races at TMS that were, with the jelly or whatever you want to call it, that was laid down to where it was just nonstop, go, 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 no cautions, none of that. That was always something that kind of pissed people off. You had 7 cautions on Sunday. 5 of them were not related to a stage. And I did hear some people saying, well, it's a wreck fest. Well, I mean, you kind of pick your poison.
Yeah, right.
You go back to the track had no character. I think the bump in 3, with the tunnel and all of that is an added element that keeps people on their toes. And I still now are seeing people say, well, they need to fix the bump. No, you don't need to fix the bump. I mean, let that thing get worse, in my opinion. I mean, that's those characteristics that give, Darlington stripes and whatever it is. Texas is a mean old bitch right now. And I think that kind of the way I correlate it is that right now, as the track is coming to its own, and again, I think in my own mind, is all of the negative conversation that has been had about Texas. Right now, she's like, okay, really? Here we go. She's showing her claws, man. She's showing her claws and becoming one of the best courses on the NASCAR circuit, in my opinion. All three divisions. Like you said, everything was good this weekend.
Everything was fantastic this weekend. So that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I really did. I enjoyed it. Even there in the media center, there was just a buzz on Sunday. Like, we always talk about the difference between the way that the race feels on Friday with the race feels on Saturday and the way that race feels on Sunday. When we walked out of that booth, and Sugar Sean and I walked out of that booth on Sunday afternoon at right at 1:00, there was a buzz that you could not bottle up there on site. You probably felt it too on the front side. I mean, there was just a buzz. There was a boatload of people. I mean, it was a sellout in the grandstands, and there was just an ass ton of people there in the pit area, like in the infield.
Yeah. Friday afternoon, we were sitting there, and again, Friday was supposed to be a wasted day. So you know how that goes. We're like Monty and then we're talking about, to where a lot of people look at the forecast and it's like, oh man, it's going to be bad. Friday was so busy in the fan zone. And I looked at my coworker and I said, dude, I got a feeling this is something pretty special. Saturday was just balls to the wall of people walking around and going up and looking at that crowd. That was a really good crowd. That was a really good crowd for an O'Reilly race. And the thing about it, I think where the misconception comes about with TMS, because I know the whole sellout thing is a topic of conversation, but what people don't realize, if you haven't been there in a while, and again, this can kind of attribute a little bit to the negative folks where about the seats getting taken out. When you look at an overhead picture and you look at the grandstands, what you have to remember is every other row, they've gone in and put your, a place to set your beer can down, put your feet up, whatever. And again, is that taking out seats? Yes, that is. But at the same time, that is something that I think I enjoy. I hadn't sat in them freaking grandstands in years.
Yeah.
It had been years. And to go up there and grab a cool one and set it down there, set my spit can down there, that's really cool to have there. And that concourse, I mean, it's been totally redone. Those bars are, dude, it's a kick-ass thing up there. There's TVs everywhere. They've done a really nice job, man. They've done a really nice job.
Yeah, I mean, now they never did say how many people were there. They just said it's a sellout. They don't have to tell us how many people were there. They don't have to. They just need to tell us it's a sellout, and that's all we need to know.
Yeah. I can tell you that it seats, apparently from what I heard, it seats about 90,000. And again, this goes back to the fact of with the sellout thing. Were there 90,000 people in the stands? Probably not, but 90,000 seats were sold. 90,000 tickets were sold. I don't know if there were 90,000 people there or not. I don't think there were, but it's pretty damn close.
There's a lot of people. I mean, you could
There's
tell
a lot of people.
Like you could just step out from the media center and look up at the stands, and it was packed.
And camping. I was there. I was there for almost 2 weeks because I had an event the week before. I got there on Sunday, Bobby, to go move my trailer. I text you this. I got there to go move my trailer. There were campers arriving on Sunday. I mean, it wasn't 250 of them, but the fact that people were arriving on Sunday kind of led me to believe that something's happening there. So it's I think the one race date helps. There's no doubt about that.
Mm-hmm.
It's the demand thing. You get to see it once, but now I think it's an even bigger factor that the racing is kind of producing a really good product, and people are going to find reasons to bitch and moan about it. But hey, man, that's my home track. I mean, to me, it's Texas Motor Speedway. I heard you mention this to where it's like, I think you mentioned this probably on the pre-race show to where it's you hadn't been there in a while. To me, I don't care whether it's full or not. I still get chills going to that place because I've been going there for so long.
Yeah, it felt like going home.
Yeah, and
it really did. It felt like going home.
And that's what I like about it now with work is I roll in there for car shows. That's my place. I mean, I'll go rolling up there. I mean, I'm just really glad that they had a good weekend because they deserve it because they've been much maligned. And I know so many folks that are on staff there and they're just beating their heads against the wall, trying to do different things. And it wasn't the real impressive thing about this weekend was, it wasn't Miranda Lambert. It wasn't Blake Shelton. I mean, it wasn't all this, the concert thing. This was racing that brought people out, I think.
I mean, the biggest thing about it, though, it made me feel much more safe, if you will, about Texas Motor Speedway.
Yeah.
Than I did going up there because it's like, if you go up there, everything around there, that land is valuable.
Woo!
That land is valuable. Now, granted, the part that makes it ironically and sucks at the same time is that the reason everything's out there is because of the racetrack.
Because of the track. Yeah.
Now the track, the value where that track is worth just gazillions of dollars.
Yeah. And, the other thing about it is I've got a really good friend on staff there, Chris Mosqueda, that kind of handles all the work that I do there. And he's a good friend of mine. And when I was there on Monday to kind of clear out some of my stuff, he's like, we have events all month. He's like, we got stuff happening on Tuesday. We've got a weekend event, and then we've got weekends all the way. So there's always something happening there. But it's just really exciting for me, the fact that God, this is where I wish that you get IndyCar back. Because I think that if you got an IndyCar racer, Bobby, that it would be, hell, they may go too fast again. I don't know. But, I mean, think about those IndyCars ripping around there, that bumpy-ass track. And it's beat up.
That's why they won't run there. It's too bumpy.
It is beat up. I mean, I've walked that track. I've ridden in David Starr's NASCAR limo riding around there. And when you go through 3 and 4, I mean, it's like your teeth are rattling around. I mean, it's pretty rough, but it kind of looks like this wall back here is what TMS kind of feels like.
Yeah.
But it really was, man. If you're a diehard TMS fan and you haven't given up on the place, to see them, it's a feel-good story, man. It's a feel-good story. It's not the most hated place anymore, it seems like.
Well, when Chase Elliott says, I have a love-hate relationship with this place, and I've been very hard on it, now he's managed to win 2 of the last 3. He changed his tune on television and in the media center very quickly.
Yeah. So, good weekend. Good weekend for the old girl. And she's old. It's 1997. How many years is that? 30?
30. Well, 30 seasons.
30 seasons. Yeah.
29 years, 30 racing seasons.
And, I was actually thinking what you said something a while ago to where it's like you mentioned Rockingham earlier in the program. So let's say that TMS closed. How long do you think the outcry would be? Well, we need Texas back. The folks that dislike it, and Texas is kind of screwed from the get-go, just in the manner that it was built and the dates that it acquired and the way that all that happened. it's just kind of one of those things. And I know when North Wilkesboro came back and got the date, that was kind of one of those things where, screw you, Texas. I mean, hey, man, North Wilkesboro and Texas both doing okay. I'm good with that. I'm totally fine with that. Totally fine with that.
You worry about Dover,
Yeah, man. I'm hoping that All-Star race does some magic, and maybe it does, because it seems like there's just a lot of momentum right now. It seems, I think the Carson Hocevar effect is good. That's a good thing. Chase Elliott winning races and so forth and so on. I think the Kyle Busch stuff, I think, while probably not the best move that he made the other day, for the folks that want to be pissed off at Kyle Busch, I mean, if Kyle Busch is in position to win, he's going to get aggressive.
Hell, if he's in a position for top 15, he's going to get aggressive right now.
That's the Kyle Busch that we want, right? I mean, that's KFB. I don't know about F, but K sort of FB. We want hit. That's the Kyle Busch that we want. So anyway, things appear to be going in the right direction. It's off to Watkins Glen, and that may be a really good thing for TV, because it sounds like it's going to be rainy.
It's going to be raining.
Going to be raining. So
both days, qualifying and racing for both the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series and the Cup Series.
So do you think if SVG wins this, I mean, because Trackhouse has not been good at all, no semblance. I mean, Ross was in the top 10 the other day, but kind of pissed that away. SVG wins. Is it rigged?
No, I think
been good.
He's just leaps and bounds better than everybody else.
Yeah. Yep.
If Trackhouse was a tick better, he'd have won COTA. That's how you know Trackhouse is off, when SVG doesn't win a road course like that.
Yep. Absolutely. Yep. Good weekend for Texas. Great show, man. The fun conversations right here that we've had. I mean, again, Texana Raceway Park. Be sure you can follow Bobby on the socials as well. He'll have the up-to-date stuff. But be sure and follow the racetrack to know what's going on with the Fireballs. Again, $1,000 to win, $100 to start. If you're looking to get out there, Tony's going to cover those pit fees for you. So that's a little bit of savings right there. Really hoping that one goes off. Great conversation with those guys tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I really am looking forward to it. Obviously, you throw in the sprint cars, the fans. Like I said, the weather's going to keep some people away, depending on what happens. But fingers crossed, man. You can't control the weather one way or the other. And we've already had one rain out. We don't want two, but, you just can't. You just can't control it, right? You just got to go with what you're given and have at it. So
that's right. Dustin Hennigan joined us there at the bottom of the hour, talking about the Factory Stock Nationals coming up at Boot Hill. Defending champion right there. It's going to be a locked and loaded field of those. You can be sure and check that out. I think our friends at Race On will have that. So be sure and check that out. That right there. It fireworks, I'm sure, right?
I'm sure there'll be some kind of controversy coming out of that race. There usually is.
There always is. And that's the one where if you follow that series, the factory stocks, if you follow that division, that's where you get up Sunday morning, get your cup of coffee, your shot of whiskey, whatever you're doing, sit back, read the paper, read Twitter, and check out the drama, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot. It's going to be
there.
Yeah. Captain,
and not just when the usual two dudes that it used to be all about either.
I think they made up, right?
They did.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Which goes to say people can get along. You don't have to be mad at each other all the time. They're all fences can be mended. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm sure they're not like, mano a mano doing things, but if those two can get along, I think we all can, right?
Yeah. If there's hope for everyone, if those two can do it.
We need to get those two on here. The four of us just talking shop, talking racing, nothing else,
Yeah.
That would be fun with those two. Bruce Wright, the energy, the man, the captain, there at COTA. That dude, pass drop. Looking forward to that. Yeah, Austin area folks, San Antonio, get your ass out to COTA and go support those kids. Cheer them on, whether they're first or last. It's gonna be cool.
I'm telling you, if something happens with us down south, I'm seriously considering.
I got to tell you, man, I'd love to go join you guys. I said that I would, but I don't know if I really can, but I've got a lot going on. But that COTA thing, I may be able to find some time on Friday to go. I just want to go see. I just want to go be a part of that. That's really spectacular for them.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Cool deal.
Yep. Really cool stuff. All right, friends. Thank you all for being a part of the chat. The chat was going. Tonight. Jason Foray. You just caught it all, Jason. I just told you everything that you missed right there. And be sure and go back and check out the replay on the Facebook page. You can check out Dirty Air Sports on YouTube. Subscribe to that. And here's a late comment right here from our lady Christina. Coda this weekend's going to be awesome. We'll be out there supporting the local clubs. That's what it's all about. I believe
and I did find a way, I think, to get notified. So if you go down to it says notifications on this post. Never mind. I'll do some more research. I thought remember how back in the day you could be notified when we go live?
Oh yeah.
It doesn't do that anymore. And I thought there was a way to do it, but I think you get notified of this post. So
nice. Okay. Well, everything's available on demand 24/7. Of course, at revvedupsportshow.com. Everything is right there as well. Yeah, support those local clubs. The other night I was asleep and I woke up and I had this thought. I believe the children are the future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Somebody had to write a song with those words, right?
Pretty sure there's already a song out there.
Oh, damn. All right. Well, forget that.
Yeah.
Day late and a dollar short. Story of my life.
That's the title of your book.
Yes, that is definitely the story of my book. This Texas, it's backwards across my cap. That's the story of my life right there. No, everything's good. All right, friends. We'll do this again next week. And I'll be in the brand new Revved Up studio. It won't have all the asbestos and all this stuff behind me, but it will look very fine. And Bobby will be in his great spot. Actually, our backgrounds are going to match better because the new setup is going to be a lot like yours, the same kind of colors. So
good.
I won't look as red in those. So anyway, your plans for the week, my man. I think I know your weekend plans, but what else you got going on?
Believe it or not, I think I'm going to use my camper over Memorial Day weekend. So I got to go work on that damn thing.
I was going to tell you, fix that leak in the roof.
It's still there, but it didn't leak as bad as I thought it was going to leak. So there's
tarp.
There's hope. There's hope. I got to get up there, find that, and then I got to work on trying to find out if there was any damage structurally.
Yeah.
But
where are you going?
I'm going to go to Fentress of all places.
Oh, nice. You're going to the old leisure camp.
It got bought out.
I know.
It's high rent district now. I didn't realize that till I looked this afternoon.
Got a buddy, my man, Pete Reyes out of Lockhart, Texas, that spent a lot of weekends at the leisure resort. It's leisure resort now, right? It's not leisure.
San
camp.
Marcos River Resort, what they call it now.
Oh, nice. It is a cool spot, though. I mean,
yeah.
It's
a little pricier than I'm used to paying when I go down to Edna and stay at the local state park down there in Edna.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't really know if I want to expand on this. It says, Sugar Sean says, thanks to me, Bobby got the camping bug. Did you guys sleep in the same sleeping bag or what the hell's going on there?
No, I stayed with him and his brother in their camper.
I'm just making sure.
Three separate beds, beds, 3 hard ass beds, but 3 separate beds.
Okay, well, just making sure you guys weren't spooning or anything like that. Because
no, we were fine.
Crazy things happen on race weekends. TMS does still have that in it to where it gets a little out of control. So anyway, I guess weather's getting bad. The dog just came in, Little just kind of came and curled up down here. So
no, I don't know. Anyway. I've been feeding them all afternoon.
Yep.
Rusty's doing just fine, but yet we had the other dogs. I didn't have my dog sitter here for the show. So
yeah, I got a, I think you got the same text. Let me see if I can find it before we go. I don't know where it is.
From our friend Kayla.
From Freckles. She was said your dog was going at it back there. So yeah, there you go.
She's been paying more attention to the dog than to us.
Well done, Freckles. It's like, I shaved to impress her and put my glasses on, and she's watching your dog. Day late and a dollar short. Story of my life. All right, friends, we're getting out of here. Be sure and tune in next. What's today? Wednesday. Be sure and tune in next Wednesday. Tentatively, that will be the next Revved Up. We're going to get this thing back on track. And get you all the hashtag Real Race Talk. He's Showtime Bobby Chaffee. He is down south here in Texas. I'm Rodney Rodriguez. We look forward to doing this again. Thank you all. Like and subscribe to all the socials. Go find a local racetrack, and if you can't find a local racetrack, find a streamer and check out the real racing action. Till next time, this has been the Revved Up Sports Show.